Okay, today we're doing a deep dive into a case that's really gripped Ireland for, almost 30 years now. It's the disappearance of Fiona Pender.
That's right. And it's Fiona. Specifically, sometimes people get confused with Suzanne Pender, but this is Fiona's story.
Exactly. Fiona Pender, 25 years old, a former model, hairdresser.
Yeah.
And crucially, 7 months pregnant when she just vanished.
August 23rd, 1996, from Tullamore in County Offaly. Just gone. Left this silence.
And the reason we're revisiting this now is because there's been, quite a dramatic recent development. It's really thrown the spotlight back on the search for answers.
It really has. A major shift after all this time.
So let's go back a bit, set the scene. Talk about Fiona's life then. Her pregnancy was obviously huge news, but it had this extra layer of significance for her family, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You have to understand the family had suffered an immense tragedy just the year before. Fiona's older brother, Mark, he died in an accident.
Right, so this baby was...
It was everything, a real symbol of hope, a new beginning after so much pain.
And the day before she went missing, August 22nd, she seemed perfectly normal, happy even.
Completely. She spent the day shopping for baby clothes with her mom, Josephine. Just the normal, happy, expectant mother. There was absolutely nothing, sort of push or pull factors to suggest she'd just pack up and leave.
So foul play was suspected pretty much immediately then.
Right from the start, yeah. It didn't add up otherwise.
And the timeline. Her partner, John Thompson, he reported seeing her last about 6 a.m. on the 23rd at their flat.
That was his account, yeah, 6 a.m. But when investigators got there...
What did they find? Or maybe what didn't they find?
Well, that's just it. All her personal things were there. Passport, credit cards, clothes, everything you'd take if you were planning on going somewhere.
Left behind.
And the apartment itself, it was described as eerily clean, almost unnaturally tidy, no signs of a struggle, nothing out of place.
Which tells investigators what? Straight away.
It points very strongly towards her either knowing her attacker or perhaps leaving the flat willingly, maybe under some kind of false reason, It doesn't scream violent abduction from the home.
Okay, and then there were those early witness reports too. Quite chilling ones.
Yes, really crucial. One local man reported seeing two men carrying something like a rolled up carpet out of her apartment building.
A carpet-like object.
Into a four-wheel drive vehicle. And then another witness saw a similar 4x4 speeding away, heading towards the Sleeve Bloom Mountains around that time.
Okay, so connecting those dots, the investigation naturally focused on her partner, John Thompson. He was the prime suspect.
He was, yes. He and some members of his family were actually arrested in April 1997.
But they were released.
Released without charge, yes. The evidence just wasn't there, it seems. Not enough to proceed.
And that lack of firm evidence, especially finding Fiona herself, that must have been the major stumbling block for years.
Absolutely critical. Without Fiona's remains, building a solid case was incredibly difficult. Then came 2014, quite unexpectedly.
Thousands of miles away, right? In Canada.
Exactly. John Thompson was arrested in Canada on an unrelated assault charge, and his new partner there gave police what you could only call a bombshell statement.
Oh, what did she say?
She alleged that Thompson had confessed to her. Confessed to killing Fiona and burying her body up in the Sleeve Bloom Mountains.
Wow. So that directly ties back to those early witness sightings of the 4x4 heading that way.
Precisely. It corroborated those initial accounts. But even then, extensive searches were carried out in the Sleeve Blooms based on this information.
Nothing found.
Nothing conclusive.
Yeah.
And without that physical evidence, that confirmation, extraditing him back to Ireland to face charges related to Fiona just hasn't been possible.
It's so frustrating. And you mentioned her case became linked to the vanishing triangle idea.
Briefly, yes. It was one of several high-profile disappearances of young women in that Leinster area in the mid-90s, which led to Operation Trace being set up to look for links. But Fiona's case always remained distinct. And the human cost, it's just devastating.
Utterly. Her poor father, Sean Pender. He took his own life in 2000. The grief was just too much.
Consumed by it. And her mother, Josephine, she campaigned tirelessly for decades, became such a public voice for Fiona.
But she passed away in 2017, still without answers.
Tragically, yes, never got that closure. Which makes this recent development even more significant.
Right, let's get to that. May 2025. What exactly happened?
The Gardaí, that's the Irish police force, they announced they'd received credible new information. And crucially, this came from a new witness.
A new witness, after all this time.
Yes, someone who apparently knew both Fiona and the prime suspect. And this information was considered strong enough to formally, publicly reclassify Fiona's disappearance as a murder investigation.
That's a huge step, and it triggered new searches.
Massive searches, very intensive, large-scale operations in County Offaly, near Killy on some farmland in Bogland, and also back in County Carlow, revisiting areas in the Sleeve Bloom Mountains again.
And then, the update at the end of May, the Gardaí said the searches were concluded, but they wouldn't release the results for operational reasons. What does that usually mean in investigations like this?
Well, operational reasons isn't a dismissal, it's actually quite the opposite. It strongly suggests the investigation has moved into a very active, very sensitive phase. Meaning they might have found something. New evidence, potentially even Fiona's remains. They're keeping things under wraps while they build their case, likely preparing for potential legal action. It signals things are moving forward, perhaps significantly.
So nearly 30 years of questions, of silence. And now this guarded optimism, perhaps.
Cautious optimism, certainly. The family has waited an extraordinarily long time for peace, for answers.
It's hard to comprehend that wait.
It really is. And it leaves a final thought, maybe for you, the listener. When authorities go silent like this, citing operational reasons after such a long public search, what does that really suggest about the chances of justice finally catching up? And you have to wonder, what kind of pressure does that put on anyone out there who might still be holding on to secrets about what happened to Fiona?
A powerful thought. And the appeal remains, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If anyone out there has any information, however small it seems, about Fiona Pender's disappearance, please contact the Gardaí at Tullamore Garda Station or use the Garda Confidential line. It's never too late.
Let's hope this time the silence is finally broken for good.